Hey, welcome to Mike's Trains, and thanks for joining me for the next video in this series. Last time we looked at this building, I hadn't finished all the windows in here and all of that. That stuff's now done, and you can kind of get a look as to what we're looking like here. I think it came out pretty good. I'm happy with it, and we're going to let this go just like that. And then the end windows are done as well on both ends. Alright, so as I said last week, we're going to start working on this window display right here. We want to get these window displays done and this entranceway done so that we can start working the lighting. We have the marquee sign that has to go up in the front here, the lighted sign. So there's quite a bit to do still, but I want to start working on this window display, and that's what we're going to do today. So let me set this to the side and put this up here. Now I've already kind of started working on this a little bit, and what I have is this is the base for that window display. What I've done is I had some corrugated styrene in my, sheets of parts box stuff to use up, and I cut a piece across. So what I've done is, if we take a look at the building on the back side here, okay, I took a measurement across from here to here, and then I took a measurement from here to here and from here to here. So I cut the back piece here to cover the full length, and then these pieces down here are pieces that were left over that you can see here from other DPM projects that I've done. They may have been even pieces I cut from this building, that we didn't need, and I cut those pieces to fit inside of here. I laminated another piece of styrene on top of that because we need the height. I want the window displays to be even with the window here. Okay, they need to be at the level with the edge of this window on both sides. So with this piece of styrene down here and this laminated piece on top brings us flush to that right there. Then I took the corrugated and I glued these pieces here to the corrugated, and then I made sides for it. So these fit on here. This fits in here just like this. So when you're looking at it from this side, this is what you see. And I think it gets my point across pretty well that these are window displays. And let's see if I can get this held up in a way that you can see it. Yeah, so these will go, it's kind of hard to hold, but these are going to go in kind of like this. Okay, and you have the floors there, and the corrugated just adds a little more visual interest to it. And then the center part right here, which I've already started working on and I haven't finished it, this is going to be the entranceway, obviously, in front of the doors here. Whoop, I just lost the door. So what I have for that is I have a piece of, not this stuff, right here. I have some 10,000 styrene that I've cut. This will fit right in here like this. Okay, that takes away the corrugated look. We don't want that in there. And then I have this. This is another piece. This is probably 20 or 30 thousandths. This is going to fit down inside of here. On top of that, this is going to be the floor. Okay, and that'll go down like that. Now what I need to do, and I'm going to do, we'll go over this, is I'm going to take this and I'm going to go online and I'm going to find a department store entranceway, and I'm going to print a picture of it onto sticker paper, and I'm going to cover that back wall right here with it. And then I'll actually make two of them because I want the floor from this back wall to cover the floor of this. So this gives us a three-dimensional look for the inside of this building, and that gives us a full entryway complete. But before I do that, all of this needs to get painted. And I know somebody had mentioned something about doing it so that I could change out the window displays to make it sort of a seasonal thing. That is way too much work involved to make that happen, because this here would have to be removable, and in order to do that, I don't want to go that route. It's just too much work to try and make this in a way that's removable, that I can actually go in there and change these window displays. I'm modeling in the summertime, so good enough for me to do it one time and one time only. That's how that's going to go. But what I need to do is paint this. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go to the spray booth, and I don't think I'm going to show this. You've seen the spray booth. I'm just going to take a can of gray primer, and I'm going to primer this whole thing gray, and then we're going to start with the color painting. And I think what's going to happen is I'm going to paint this whole inside white, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to spray the floor blue on both sides. And then I haven't decided exactly how I'm going to do this, but these stripes, I'd like to paint these parts of the corrugation red, okay, and leave the in-between ones white, so it gives the look of sort of a flag, right? And in my mind, maybe I'm wrong, but in my mind I see that as being, that puts us around the 4th of July, let's say, right? So it's midsummer kind of a deal, and that's what I'm looking for. And then in this window displays here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my figures. I have a whole bunch of them, right? So these are all the figures I have. I have a couple hundred of them. I'm going to take some that are posing, say, such as this one here. And then we'll take, I have some that are abnormally thin. I don't know. Some of these painted ones came out a little thinner than they probably should be, like this one right here. Very thin. And I'm going to paint these in a way, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the hands and faces, the heads. Let's take this one right here. So we'll paint, so this is summertime, so this guy would be wearing shorts and a shirt kind of a thing, right? So we're going to paint the head, the arms here, and then these legs. We're going to paint them pure white, like a mannequin would be. And then we're just going to color the clothes. All right, and I'm going to do this for several figures. So here's another one. So what I'm going to end up doing is doing a side with all female figures on this side and all men's figures on this side. I'm going to do something like that. I'm not going to get super wild with it and super detailed, because honestly it's going to be lost. You're just not going to see it. I could go super detailed, but I just think it's a waste of my time and energy to go further than that. So I'll probably put, judging by this, we could put 1, 2, 4 or 5 on each side, okay, and that's going to be it. And we'll put them so that you have maybe one here, 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 and back here, and we'll turn them in ways, and that's going to be it for the window displays. I'm not going any more detailed than that. I just don't see the advantage to doing that. It's not enough for me to want to do that. So all that being said, why don't we go to the next step, and we'll get this painted And when I have it painted, we'll come back and take a look at how I'm going to stripe all this. And then we'll add in these pieces here, and we'll start adding the center scenery here, the backdrop, and start getting this thing moving along. Alright, so I'm back from the spray booth, and this thing is now all painted. You can see I did a little different than I wanted. I started messing with the airbrush, and I got a little crazy, and that's what I did. Okay, I wanted the red, white, and blue, and then I lightened a dark blue out here, and it darkens as it goes in. Again, a lot of this stuff you're not going to see, and you can see I have glue on here, and there's a reason for that. I printed one of the images, which is right here, and you can see it's a store interior. Okay, this is going to go in between the two stores. So what I have is I have a piece of 10,000 styrene on the back. I happen to have some of this Gorilla Tape here, clear Gorilla Tape, two-sided Gorilla Tape. It's kind of thick, so you know, I hope it's going to work. I've never used it before, so we'll see what happens. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this picture here, and I'm going to set it right between the two sides, and we're going to press that right into place. Doesn't need a lot of glue. It's kind of a tight pressure fit, and that's it. So that'll sit like that, and that's what we have. So alright, so we have our window displays, and we have the inside of the store here, and it looks pretty good. I'm very happy with that. I don't know what those two black marks are from, but I'm guessing they're from pressing this into place. So now we need to do the floor that goes out here, and this is another image I printed. This is going to be the floor, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a piece of this out. So I printed this, and this is going to go in here, and then we'll trim the image away from the plastic after I glue it on. And I don't think I'm going to use that clear tape because it's just too thick. It's going to raise it up too high. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this same glue, and I'm going to coat one side of this. So now we have this. This is a little bit of floor, and this is going to fit right in the middle here, and that's going to be our entrance to the whole thing. Now, because this tape here is thicker than I intended, this now is too wide, so I'm going to have to trim off some of this. And that's going to go in just like that. Like that. And I'm just going to use some of my regular glue to glue that into place. So now we have this. We have a floor and our whole entrance to the building. It's kind of hard. There we go. The whole entrance. So I'm going to have to hold this until this glue sets. So that is our entrance. You can see the floor right there, the entrance to the store. Now it's just I got to build these two displays, and like I said earlier, we're just gonna I'm just gonna paint up some figures Alright, so I've glued the people in now. I actually went and painted them, and I didn't want to show it because it took me a while to paint these. I hand paint them, and there are all the people put in. Of course, our interior of the store, and that's the window displays. That's as detailed as I'm going to get. I'm not going any further than that. I think that, you know, drives my point. And let me see if I can get this onto the building a little bit to show you how it's going to look. I can't do too much with this until these figures dry on their spots here. But I think I might be able to set this into place so you can get a look as to how that's going to be. So this is what we're looking at. It'll be like this. It's a little difficult to see. Of course, my hand is in the way. So that's what we're looking at. Yeah. So that looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. I think we'll go with it. Oh, and the other thing I neglected to mention earlier is, you know, we did do the tinted windows up here, but these three center ones, I back sprayed them in black, and of course now I've got a fingerprint right here, but I have to fix that. But I back sprayed these three, and what that's going to do, number one, when all of this is in and it's up against the wall, this all looks black. You can't tell, right? So when I put it like this, you can't tell the difference between a painted one and a tinted one. But when the lights come on, there'll be a little bit of a interior in there, and the interior behind these three windows and these three windows are going to be done the same way that I did this and all of my other interiors. What'll happen is inside of here I'm going to put a backdrop right here and let it hang. We'll let it just hang down just to the bottom of these windows with the image on the hanger down. And we'll put it back maybe a 1/4 inch or so behind each one of these two sets, and then we'll start doing then we can start doing the lighting. So next week we're definitely going to start the lighting. I'm going to put this in this week. I'm going to let this dry overnight. I don't want to mess with it too much. This whole project took me the better part of a whole day. Just an FYI, if you're looking for a time frame as to how long it takes to do this, yeah, so all day for this. You know, obviously I have real life stuff going on as well, so you know, adding into all that, so you know, I've been on this for a while. So I'm gonna call this a day for today. We're gonna call this video done, and next week I'm totally hoping to start adding the lighting. We're gonna do lighting here, this hallway lighting, and I'm still waiting on my son to do the Arduino stuff. I can next week we'll take a look at what I've gotten so far, but that'll be next week. So anyway, that's kind of it for this week. That's all I got. If you're just finding me for the first time, please by all means subscribe to my channel. Love to have you along. Don't forget to like and share my videos, and until next time, happy modeling.